Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining this webinar on the Facebook account kit. My name is Scott Pincus, and I am joined by Ilija Zagorac.
Hi, everybody.
Today we will be talking about the Facebook account kit and kind of, how that's going to impact you and some of the opportunities of what you can be thinking about in terms of replacement solutions, etc. If you have any questions about the presentation or the topic, please don't hesitate to reach out to our team. We're always available at contact@telesign.com. We're excited to have you guys here with us and hope you enjoy it. So going back to introductions, once again, my name is Scott Pincus. I'm a product manager here at TeleSign. Been in a few roles at the company, but right now predominantly focused on working with our strategic customers and driving some product initiatives for them through our product organization. And I will let Ilija introduce himself.
Hi, everybody. So my name is Ilija, as Scott said. Last name Zagorac, and I'm the Director of Product Management in TeleSign, in charge of verification products. Like Scott, I've been with TeleSign for years now and doing several roles before this one.
Perfect. Thanks, Ilija. So moving along, for some of you who might not be as familiar with us, just maybe a little background of who TeleSign is. So TeleSign is a global cloud communications and mobile identity company. We offer a suite of APIs that allow our companies to connect and protect online experiences of their end users on their platforms. Some of the things you can think of: user verification, mobile identity data, general, just broader communication offerings, and others. Our solutions provide tools to some of the largest web properties in the world. Typically, these solutions enable our companies of all shapes and sizes really to successfully navigate security and communication needs for, once again, their platform as well as their users. Kind of moving forward here, just maybe a little bit of a background on TeleSign, once again, for those who might not be familiar with us. We started in 2005, so we've been around for quite a few years, to say the least. We really focused on two-factor authentication from the get-go. That was really, once again, our focus, and historically has been our bread and butter. And that's really kind of the product that Ilija is typically focused on here. So once again, in 2005, we started with two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication, it's typically something like a password, and then something you have like a device or a phone where you can actually send a one-time passcode of some sort to that user. And by having that user enter that back onto your platform, you know that they not only know that password associated with the account, but you can also confirm that they have possession of the device that is tied to their account. So moving out of two-factor authentication, a few years down the line, our customers came to us and they're like, we really like what you guys are doing for us, but we want to know more. We want to know more about the users and the phone numbers that we're interacting with and our customers, and what can you tell us about those phone numbers? So from there, we launched our Phone ID suite. Originally, our Phone ID standard product, which provided three things, and this is something we still provide today. It would provide the type of phone, the carrier that phone number is associated with, and the registration location of that phone. We would typically see this product being used for querying it before sending an SMS or a voice one-time passcode. You want to make sure it's a valid number. You want to make sure you're not sending a one-time passcode through SMS to a fixed line number, for example. So that's what we would typically see our customers doing there. Moving down the line to 2016, our customers once again came to us and they're like, hey, you do a great job of delivering these mission critical messages for us, specifically in one-time passcodes. What other types of messages can you send for us? And so that's where we really expanded on not just sending one-time passcodes, but really offering a full engagement and communication suite. Think of alerts, reminders, notifications, maybe even something more sophisticated like connecting to private parties anonymously, these types of offerings. And then most recently in 2017, TeleSign was actually acquired by Pincus. They're a Belgian telecom company. one of the largest in the world, depending on how you measure telecommunications as a whole. And since then, we've really been focused on ultimately driving synergies between TeleSign and BICS and passing those synergies off to our customers in the form of quality in competitive pricing and just scalability and reach. So that's kind of where we are today, and kind of where we've been over the years. As you can see, quite a lot of evolution, and kind of moving forward to just our product suite as a whole. So I personally like to think of TeleSign in two pieces, one on the communication side and one on the mobile identity side. On our communication side, you can do two things. You can verify your users by sending one-time passcodes, either through an SMS channel, a voice channel, the RCS channel, quite a few different channel offerings. And then outside of one-time passcodes, once again, you can just communicate with those users, whether you want to send them information on a promotion or an alert on their account or some sort of notification, but more broadly, just general communication as a whole. The other side of our business is mobile identity. So really getting an understanding of the user through mobile identity data. So once again, something as simple as the type of phone, and now providing more complex solutions around, a name and an address behind a phone number. When's that last time that individual ported their number, or has a SIM swap occurred recently? How long has that user been associated with that phone number? But all of these pieces allowing our customers to create secure online experiences and support the entire customer journey. So that's kind of those product suite that we offer today. I mean, each of these are available through a range of REST APIs. Moving down the line here, kind of going to the original topic of focus. A lot of our customers have been talking to us recently about Facebook Account Kit, especially ones that are obviously previous users of Facebook Account Kit. But it's definitely a hot topic, and it's one that's getting a lot of coverage. And that's kind of why we're here today. So maybe some background here for everyone. Facebook Account Kit ultimately was a offering that Facebook provided that allowed enterprises and their applications to create a login experience for their users. It was actually a passwordless login experience. So instead of actually entering a password, you would just enter your phone number and email, and you would either enter a one-time passcode that is sent to you, or you would verify by clicking a link that was sent to you. So once again, two login flows that were available here. And if that end user decided to go through verifying through a phone number, if for any reason that individual did not receive that SMS code, they would be able to fall back and receive that through voice or Facebook, through like a Facebook Messenger. These are typically best practices that we recommend as well, to ensure that if you are going to be offering a one-time passcode channel, that you provide some fallbacks as well, just to ensure the highest conversions available for your customers. So this service was actually provided by Facebook for free for quite some time. They allowed the customers of Facebook Account Kit to simply use this, and once again, entirely free. Facebook started to realize that it became costly for them to support such a large volume of customers, and then they started to charge for the service ultimately. So in August of 2018, any application that was using Facebook Account Kit that exceeded 100,000 transactions a month were ultimately charged on a transactional rate. From a more technical standpoint, Facebook Account Kit is also a REST API, kind of similar to TeleSign solutions as well. The Account Kit would allow you to create a database for your application that is accessed via this REST API. So you would create unique account IDs associated and tied to these phone numbers and emails. And then as people would log in, you would query a database that's populated with these numbers, these email addresses, and unique account IDs that you'd be able to leverage for authentication purposes within your application. Moving forward here, give a little bit more background of kind of where we stand with Facebook Account Kit today. So as many of you know, Facebook Account Kit is actually getting deprecated. Facebook's position here has really just been that it's been a high cost for them to maintain and relatively low adoption. And I think that's just more relative, obviously, to all of Facebook's offerings. But yeah, so they've ultimately decided to deprecate this product. What this means for you as an enterprise that is currently using Facebook Account Kit, obviously you need to start thinking of other methods of authentication for your registration and for your login. You want to ensure that your login won't break, so you make a change prior to the complete deprecation. And then more widely, you want to ensure that you maintain that level of trust and security that you've provided to your end users by offering these types of login mechanisms. Ultimately, the end goal is really to ensure that you maintain a great user experience for your users. And to do so, obviously, you need to find the appropriate and effective replacement option here. So from a timeline perspective, once again, we noted previously in August of 2018, they started charging based on kind of your usage. And then in September of 2019, they no longer allowed any new customers to onboard with Facebook Account Kit. Integrations that were existing already would continue to function as normal, but no new customers were allowed to onboard. In December 9th of last year, so it's been a little bit, the daily SMS limit was reduced to 1,000 messages per day. This means that 1,000 one-time passcodes in a standard 2FA sequence were allowed per day. The upcoming milestone we have is in March 9th of this year. Facebook Account Kit will be entirely deprecated and will no longer function. So at this point, this is where you really need to make sure that you have a new solution in place, because if you do not have something in place by then, your login will break, your user experience will be impacted, and obviously there's going to be just a more broadly less secure experience for that user and for your platform. Moving forward here, I think the focus is not about just that it's deprecating, but what can you do to replace that solution, to improve your existing solution, and ultimately upgrade. So I'm going to pass this off to Ilija, who once again is our Director of Product Management here, and give you a little bit an idea of some of the things you can be thinking about, some of the options that you have as you're starting to make these decisions.
Thanks, Scott. Okay, so on this slide, you can see some of the alternatives. There's SMS verification, voice verification, email verification, and we've also mentioned some of the most popular ones like authenticator apps, push-based 2FA, and physical authentication keys. So let's go in details with some of these. Email verification, it's been used, but it's unsecure, and this is why most people are avoiding it. Authenticator apps and push-based 2FA, if implemented correctly, they can be secure. But from the end user perspective, this means just another app on their phone. First of all, you need to have a smartphone, and then you need to have another app. And in most of the cases, the end user is going to end up with several apps he's using for different things. And this is why the end users don't like it. Physical authentication keys, again, if properly implemented and integrated, they can be really secure. The end user should be really unlucky to run into some hacker that's going to hack this one. But they can get complicated in several cases. So first, it's complicated to set up everything for the end user. It's complicated if the end user is using several devices to access the content he wants to access. And it again also gets complicated if the end user basically loses or gets his physical authentication key stolen. And in that case, when the key is stolen or lost, the end user needs to fall back to something. And all of these methods are at the end falling back to SMS or voice verification. So why is SMS so widely used and voice? Why are those so widely used verification options? The first thing I would say is that these are the most ubiquitous forms of phone-based 2FA. They're really simple to use. Everybody nowadays has a phone, not necessarily a smartphone, but they have a phone that can receive a call or an SMS. And basically, verification through SMS and voice is maybe the best balance between something that is still secure, especially with the identity, mobile identity products that Scott mentioned, that TeleSign has, but also really convenient to use for both brands and end users on the other hand. So the dates that Scott presented show that brands should integrate alternative solutions to Facebook account kit pretty fast, and SMS and voice verification are really simple to deploy, and the time needed to bring those solutions to the market is really short. So also with TeleSign having REST APIs, it's really simple to integrate those solutions. But what are some other benefits when it comes to TeleSign? Why is the TeleSign solution the best solution for you? So at first thing I would mention is that we really have an unmatched global coverage. We can help you reach your end users in almost every corner of the world. Scott mentioned that TeleSign has a relationship with Bix, and it seems that TeleSign at this point is kind of in a sweet spot between Bix, a company that has a great telco history and has outreach to many carriers. And then TeleSign has its own history as somebody that's been in verification for so long, and we can benefit from both. So thanks to Bix, we have so many direct connections, and we are able to reach your end users everywhere. But also we have teams that make sure that these connections are stable and working all the time. And it's not only that we have 24/7 teams that make this happen. We have a huge experience around this, and basically based on that experience, we were able to recognize patterns for failing connections and automatically react upon those patterns. Not that only our expertise is in this communication part. We have teams that are dedicated in fighting with telecommunication fraud and helping our customers secure their accounts. And that is where I think talking to TeleSign and presenting what are the issues that you're facing is really important, because TeleSign can get basically a team of advisors for you, like solution architects and technical account managers, customer support, that can all help you address the issues that you have in the right way. So it's not only that we are going to help you verify your users, but we can also help you by verifying those users through SMS and voice to address any of the issues that in addition you see. As I mentioned, so there are two products that you should look into: SMS Verify and Voice Verify. Basically, those are patented phone-based verification products. Like Scott mentioned, TeleSign started a long time ago, and these products are there for some time now. And combining those products with mobile identity products that TeleSign has can bring the best value and the greatest value for you. And in summary, I think this is all that we wanted to say. maybe just to mention, and I think this is interesting to do in the Q&A section, some of the most often questions that we got on these sessions and similar sessions. So we often get asked about SMS and how secure it is. As I said, it's not bulletproof, but it has that good balance, especially when it's combined with mobile identity products. For example, you've probably seen or read about the cases where somebody's phone got hacked in a way that somebody got somebody's SIM card. For example, let's say that I got some way Scott's SIM card. If I got his SIM card, he's not basically aware of it because he still has his phone with him. But I'm the one that's going to be getting his SMS and voice messages. And TeleSign also helps you prevent those. So am I going to be able to hack into Scott's accounts? Probably not, because if you're using, for example, SIM swap, phone ID SIM swap add-on on TeleSign side, you are going to know that somebody, that Scott's SIM card is changed, and that maybe you should do an additional step before letting somebody go into Scott's account. The other thing that we get asked also pretty often is how can you keep that global coverage stable? And are you really sure that you can reach everybody, in every corner of the world? And that's also where our experience comes into place. We are doing this for a long time. We have teams that are dedicated to maintaining the quality that TeleSign is famous for. And also, this is again where we benefit from the relationship which we have from BICS. So these are the two questions that I'm going to mention. In case you have any additional questions, you can always send them to connect@telesign.com, and we are going to make sure that you get your answer as soon as possible. So that's for me, Scott. I don't know if you have anything to add.
No, nothing from my side. Thanks, Ilija, for covering that. Once again, we're happy to help. Should any questions arise, the team's available at contact@telesign.com. If there are any questions, feel free to send them over. Don't be hesitant. And our latest Facebook migration guide, account kit guide, is actually available under our resources section on telesign.com. So feel free to take a look there. There's some valuable information, some code snippets, just kind of a little overview of what it would look like to move to that type of solution. And I think just to close it off, thanks everyone for joining. It's been a pleasure, and look forward to seeing you guys again soon.
Thank you all.